Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Watkins Glen International for the next stop for the NASCAR 21 Ignition Career Mode. And here today, ladies and gentlemen, it is another road course race on the season. In fact, it is road course race number 5 of 7. It is the second to last one in the regular season. 4 races to go into not only crowning a regular season champion, but also crowning who the 10 playoff drivers will be that will receive playoff points for finishing in the top 10 of the regular season standings, but most importantly, the full 16 driver field who will compete for a championship in the final 10 races of the year. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as always. And I gotta say, I'm proud to be back again here tonight. Ended up taking last night off, well, really the last 2 days off for streaming. I had planned to take off 2 nights ago. I was not planning on taking off last night. Unfortunately, I was a little under the weather yesterday. You can probably tell I have a little bit of a stuffy nose right now, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to keep the camera off for today in case I have to get up or and get like a tissue or something throughout the course of it. It's not that bad today compared to what it was yesterday. Yesterday I was just too run down, too tired and stuff. There would have been no way I was going to be able to get this out to the best of my abilities. But today is a new day, and I'm glad everybody was patient enough to hold off. And let's get some racing in here in this one. First, though, we have to look at the starting lineup, of course, before we get into this race. All right, so Chase Elliott, Watkins Glen, basically king at this point, is going to be starting on the pole with William Byron on the outside of the front row. Mark Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin will be in row 2. Truex has 2 wins here himself. Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick will line up in row 3 with Keegan Schneider and Austin Dillon in row 4. Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski will round out the top 10 in row number 5. Harvick has 1 win at Watkins Glen in his Cup Series career. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. First into the chat down below. And again, welcome everybody into this race today. 90 laps around the Watkins Glen International. And let's just have some fun. First live stream in a long time with NASCAR 21 Ignition. So we'll hope for the best. Davion West, welcome to the stream as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, of course, that we could get through all 90 laps unscathed. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway at Watkins Glen. As they barrel it down into the first turn, 2 by 2. Schneider trying to be patient for the early going as he ducks in line behind Austin Dillon. Actually losing a spot on the start, considering he qualified 7th. All over the back of Austin Dillon off the exit of the S's. Schneider was 10th in the first round of qualifying, picked it up a hair to a 7th place run. Does not want to have Chase Elliott get away from the field with Elliott being up towards the front early on. Schneider sending it into the bus stop, trying to make a pass on Austin Dillon in the 3. Not going to be able to do it right there, and he'll have to stay in line behind the 2 RCR Chevrolets for the time being. Again, Schneider trying to beat Austin Dillon. Back to the gas as Dillon squeezes him off the exit of turn 5. Crossover into turn 6. You saw a little bit of wheel hop out of the 3 of Austin Dillon. The rear tires slide just a hair. Schneider sends it in deep into turn 7. Nothing doing there either. Dillon launched back to the gas, way out ahead of the 48 of Schneider now. Lap 1 complete. Chase Elliott will lead lap 1 from the pole. Byron still in 2nd place. Oh man, Schneider overrunning turn 1 a bit. Almost ended up into the outside wall. Pushing hard, trying to close that gap back to the 3. I am feeling a lot better tonight. Thanks for the well wishes that you guys gave me, not only during the premiere last night and the custom schedule, or something, not custom schedule, the community tab post that I put yesterday, stating just beforehand that I was not going to be able to live stream last night, so that's why we delayed this stream to tonight. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for all of you that tuned in, watched the premiere last night. It was the least I could do. I had it already recorded and edited, so I was planning on just uploading it yesterday, but because I Just trying to hold off as long as I could on figuring out if I was going to stream or not, because I didn't want to say, oh, I'm not streaming today, and then I would have felt better, you know, later in the day, because then I would have felt kind of guilty for not streaming. And I wanted to. I really did want to stream yesterday, but it wouldn't have been beneficial for you guys, because I know the commentary was likely not going to be there, and I just would have been trying to push through it. It wouldn't have been good for any one of us. So far, so good, at least for the early going of this race today. Schneider closed right back in on Austin Dillon in the S's, beats it back to the gas. He's going to try to drive it in deep now into the bus stop, and Schneider makes his first pass of the day. Just sent it in there, and he was able to make the pass on Austin Dillon in the bus stop. Tyler Reddick struggling with a tight race car. You can really see that 8 car pushing up the track quite considerably. Schneider going to run a little bit of a wide exit off the exit of turn 5. Now he's going to hop in line in the draft of Reddick down this long straightaway into turn 6. Slides the tires just a bit. Starting a 5-day vacation, watching Keegan's live stream. Hey, well, enjoy your vacation. We will be live streaming again tomorrow night. NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 returning to the channel in a big way. Start of the Custom Series scheduled for the Truck Series at Daytona under the lights. That should be a fun one. Can't wait for it. Wow, look at Tyler Reddick send it into the bus stop. He closes in on Kyle Busch. I was wondering if Schneider was going to be able to make a pass on Reddick, and Reddick kind of drove away from him, but Schneider still puts the pressure on. Definitely tell his 48 car looks pretty racy early on as he has worked around one RCR car. He gets pinched off the exit of turn 5 by another one of Reddick there. Oh man, pushed back into the gas a little bit too soon. Drives it deep into turn 7, not going to get there. Almost ended up in the wall off the exit of turn 7. He had to lift quite a bit. Now here comes Austin Dillon with a run. It's a big mistake by the 48 of Schneider. Big block by the 48 down into turn 1 as he's going to try to protect the bottom. He doesn't want Dillon to get back around him again. Schneider coming off a 3rd place finish back at New Hampshire in the last race. Martin Truex Jr. was able to get his 2nd win of the season. And with Truex starting in the first 2 rows tonight, he's got a good chance to go back-to-back. A track he's won at multiple times in his Cup Series career. Pretty good road course racer. Schneider's definitely better in the bus stop, really, than anywhere else on the racetrack in comparison to anybody else. He's going to try the outside in turn 5. Hasn't tried it yet. Late to the downshift, though, and Reddick's easily going to beat him back to the gas. But he figured he'd try something different. He was pulling away from Dillon a bit. He's struggling to make passes. It's just so hard to pass on road courses in general. This game, probably more so than any other NASCAR game I've ever played, seems like dirty air is a bigger issue in this game. Especially with the 550 package. Not as much with the 750, but it's still there with the 750 package. Especially when you get to faster racetracks like Watkins Glen. Definitely the fastest road course in NASCAR. 3 major long straightaways. It's only 7 turns. These cars fly around here. Good run again in the S's for Schneider. He's going to pull up behind Reddick. Now he's going to pull out of line. He tried to get as much draft as he could. Sends it into the bus stop as he makes a beautiful pass. I got to say, Chase Elliott is just absolutely getting away from the field. You can see 2nd through 5th right here. And Elliott is absolutely gone right now. R6, welcome to the stream as well. I also don't have the camera on tonight because I don't really have a good setup in my room, going through some remodeling right now. So I can't wait to show you guys all that when it is done. I will have the camera on sometime soon, even when it's not done. I just didn't really have much time today to try to figure out how to orchestrate, you know, a decent setup that I wasn't just showing you guys me sitting on my bed, because that's literally all I'm doing right now. I'm like less than 5 feet from my TV, and I'm literally sitting on the bed, sitting on my bed while playing this. So between that and the maybe nasally voice tonight or whatever it may sound like for you guys, I decided just to turn the camera off. Kind of like last night, best for both of us. Failed attempt to try and make a pass on Kyle Busch that time. Busch is going to push really wide in turn 5, and he shuts the door off the exit of the corner on the 48 of Schneider, who took a peek. Billy Kramer, welcome. Schneider sends it into turn 7, off the curb and into Kyle Busch. Contact is made. They race back to the start-finish line. Crowd was roaring after that. I think they were excited that the rookie got into the 18 and Kyle Busch. Schneider sent it in there. You definitely tell there's a huge speed difference. Into the S's. Actually starting to time his cornering off in the S's pretty well also, giving him a pretty good run. Sends it in deep. Oh, and again he runs into the side of Busch and makes the pass that time. Second time he got into Busch over the last couple laps. I don't think he really appreciated either one of the 2 times he made contact with him. And we'll see if Busch is going to get him back at all here. Schneider is trying to break the draft as much as he could. Kyle's got to run. Schneider hits his marks pretty good, trying to beat the 18 back to the gas for a good set of corners. Now he's going to try to break this draft again. Schneider is coming after Denny Hamlin. Oh, jeez. Looking at the chat there for a second, almost ended up all the way in the grass. Still going to be able to hop back in line to make the pass on Denny Hamlin into the bus stop. Well, I wish you the best of luck there, Billy. I just read your comment about testing positive for COVID. Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Luckily, I tested negative yesterday. Oh my goodness, Denny Hamlin. Big ball! Hamlin up and over! Turn 6 off the curbing! He's just sliding into the sand on the right side of his race car. He drove it in deep into turn 6 and the curbing turned him over. And we stay green as he must be out of the way and off the racetrack. Big crash in turn 6, but no caution flies. Haven't seen too many cautions on road courses this season. Was not expecting that. I did see also that Mr. changes his name a lot in the chat is in there. I didn't feel like reading that one tonight. I did see you. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. I can't believe Denny Hamlin just rolled over like that in turn 6. I'm surprised you guys in the comment section weren't going nuts when it happened. Seemed pretty tame. I didn't even realize he was making a move to the inside until he was there. With there being no rearview mirror, Schneider had pulled away from him off the exit of turn 5 after he passed him in the bus stop, but I guess he didn't. Schneider trying to get around the next GGR Toyota of Martin Truex Jr. Sends it again into the bus stop. Can't quite make the pass yet. He is all over the back of the 19 car. He is just waiting for him to make a mistake. And there he goes. Up the hill goes the 19. Schneider all over him. He just can't quite make the pass yet. But he is staying aggressively in this draft. Truex pulling back away. Into turn 6. It's Schneider down to the inside onto the curbing. He didn't flip like Hamlin did. That's good. Oh, and Truex tags the right rear of Schneider. Schneider is actually going to be able to correct the car quick enough to pull down in front of the 19. All clear. And now it's Hendrick Motorsports running 1, 2, 3 at Watkins Glen on lap 12. Second place, not too much further ahead of Schneider. And Chase Elliott is long gone right now. He's led all 11 laps that have been completed so far from the pole. And he's the one to beat today. Schneider beats Byron back to the gas. Off the S's. Big block there by the 24. That was right when the 48 was going to go up and side draft him. Schneider's going to be able to outbrake him into the bus stop. Big bounce off the curb. He is able to stay in front of the 24. Schneider now to a race high second place position. They'll try to run down Elliott. Elliott will definitely be the first to lap traffic, assuming we stay green. What's man? Welcome to the stream. Stop and see if Teddy's okay. I don't see him sitting there anymore. I think he's alright. I would imagine the sand probably would have slowed him down, but I would also imagine if you were on just your right side tires, like he was, and on the right side of his race car hitting that sand, he probably would have barrel rolled into the fence, or at least that tire wall back there behind the sand trap, the gravel trap. Good news is, though, is that Schneider does have quite a bit of clean air right now. He's able to be a little bit more aggressive than what he was a little bit earlier in the going. 77 degrees, sunny skies for today's race. Partly cloudy. Seems as if Chase Elliott has already caught his first lap car and passed David Reagan in the 36. Time's going to have to be made up on pit road if Schneider's going to want a shot at Elliott if this does go green to the end, which we have seen 2 caution-free road course races so far this season. Schneider with 1 career road course win, and it was at Circuit of the Americas. Just missed out on a top 10 in the last road course race. Finished 11th at Road America. Excruciating last place finish at Sonoma. 20th at the Daytona road course. It's been very hit or miss this season. All over the board. Whether it's been a mid-pack just outside the top 10. A win or a last place DNF finish like he had at Sonoma. Of that race he was leading with about 32 laps to go at the time of his bad moment that took him not only out of a shot of winning the race, but took him out of the race entirely. Yeah, I kind of had like that weird feeling Monday. I did go to Monday Night Raw, and I don't know if that made it any better or worse, but it really hit me Like really hit me though when I was coming home that night. Probably about halfway home, I know it started getting like really stuffy, but to the point where I couldn't like breathe out of it at all. And I couldn't sleep that night because of it. I was supposed to work Tuesday, and I ended up taking a sick day and getting tested out for COVID. And I slept quite a bit yesterday, and I didn't have a lot of food in me, so I was just kind of feeling tired. I made sure I ate quite a bit last night. Between like 6 and 8 o'clock, really, I was eating a ton of food, trying to, make up for the calories I wasn't intaking. I didn't work out yesterday, which kind of sucked because I wanted to, and I just didn't feel like I had enough energy, and I felt like breathing was probably going to be a little bit of a problem too. Sorry, I had to pause it for a quick second. My mic came out of my. I accidentally pulled the mic out of my ear. It went silent there for a little bit, if you were wondering. Had to plug it back in. Man, that was a pretty big bounce off the curb. Schneider was able to hold on to it. Pushing as hard as he can right now, trying to see if he can run down Chase Elliott. His fastest time in the race so far is a 1:10 minute 10.016 second lap time. About 0.2 of a second quicker than his lap time he ran in qualifying, which was again fast enough for 7th in session 2. 10th in session 1 with a 1:11.1. Fly Guy Only 773, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we've only had one stream since Christmas. Now that I think about it, that was on Sunday. Yeah, sorry for the lack of streams there, guys. I kind of planned last week we were going to have a lot of premieres. I think we only live streamed 3 times last week. One of which was on Sunday. I guess you can consider that this week if you really want to, but I had planned on that with Christmas coming up. I wasn't planning on getting sick a couple days after Christmas, so my dad kind of had something. I'm thinking I got it from him, but he didn't get tested for COVID, so I wanted to make sure that I did before I went into work, and everything went back negative. So I ended up using a sick day, so I still got paid yesterday. The problem is I'm thinking I'm not going to get my holiday pay. I wasn't able to talk to anybody at work about it today because that was my first day back since having off for Christmas. So that's a bummer. Another reason why I wanted to really go in, but I would have been just beat. Mainly cough and fever. Yeah, I never had like a fever or anything. I kind of figured I didn't have it only because I get sick. Well, I shouldn't say I get sick often. I should say when I do get sick, like I know it. And this feels like it, but it didn't hit me like a ton of bricks either. Because I like very rarely get sick. It's probably been a couple years since I've been sick. I can remember I was having some like coughing and like Glen problems a few years ago, and I think it was before I had the YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. So I know it's been a little while since the last time I've been sick. Part of why I very rarely miss streams. I'm just hoping my voice doesn't go out by the end of the night either. We're only 18 laps in, I can almost kind of like feel it. I mean, I'm sure everybody that is watching or listening right now that can say whether they have or haven't lost their voice before. You know how you can kind of like feel when it feels like it's starting to go? That's kind of my point right now. I accidentally downshifted there off the exit of turn 7. That's my next fear. Hopefully that doesn't happen. The good news is this is one of the shorter races of the season, with it only being 90 laps on a really fast road course here at the Glen. It's like having the flu or the cold. Oh man, another gigantic bounce off the curbing. Trying to get the car to slow up. Schneider's pushing extremely hard into the bus stop every time he goes through there. Just trying to pick up as much time as he can, especially with knowing that that's his best set of corners on the racetrack. Soft, welcome to the stream. Using wheel or controller? I've been using controller for NASCAR 21 Ignition, and towards the end there on NASCAR Heat 5, I was only using controller because my wheel was having some mishaps. I haven't gotten a new one. Didn't really want to either. Schneider's about to get into lap traffic. That'll start to put him back in dirtier air and maybe tighten the car up just a hair on the corners, so he's going to have to watch it. Trying to get to the inside of David Reagan. He caught him in a really bad spot. Able to fly around him off the exit of the corner, though. He's trying to get underneath him. He closed in on him quite a bit in the bus stop, but he couldn't quite get to the right rear corner panel until he got in the middle of turn 5, so he had to check up, back the corner up some more, and then beat him back to the gas to get around him before they got onto that long straightaway. Could have been a lot worse of a situation as far as how long he was caught behind Reagan, but definitely could have been a little bit quicker of a process of getting around him at the same time. Schneider dive bombing underneath Ty Dillon. Dillon about crowded the 48, made some contact. That was an aggressive pass. The Estes and the bus stop, definitely the two most dangerous places to run side by side. Austin Cindric rather. The other Austin. Cindric had a pretty big bounce off the curb. 48 car got to drive underneath him. And same spot he got around Reagan, he'll get around Austin Cindric, it looks like. Chase Elliott still in the lead. He's led all 21 laps thus far. Once again, from the pole, Schneider qualified 7th, up to 2nd, and has been running here for about 9 to 10 laps, which is extremely hard into turn 1 as he closes on the 62 car of Brendan Gaughan. Catches Gaughan in the Esses. Trying to get around him to the outside. Oh, man, Gaughan up into the side of the 48. Very clear. A little bit of a block trying to make sure he was going to hold that 62 back. We'll say no mistakes so far, though, for the 48. 22 laps in, the tire's getting pretty old. Always slick with the 750 package, too. Seems like Elliott's getting through the lap cars pretty easily so far. Still no sight of him. The good news is we'll know when he pits. If he ends up pitting before the 48 or not. Schneider pushing hard into turn 7, not quite going to get around Cody Ware. I'll pull out of line, try to get around him, and there we go. So we got some pit stops going on. Both the Ganassi cars of Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain were in the pits. The pit window is 25 to 27 laps tonight. So it will be a 3-stop race for everybody. The actual fuel window here is usually about like 33 to 34 laps, 35 maybe, give or take, but again, the fuel window seems to be a lot shorter in this game compared to real life for both the AI and yourself. And seeing some cars pit right there, it might be beneficial for the 48 of Schneider to pit very soon. How is NHL 22? I haven't heard anything about it. Usually the NHL games are probably ones you can usually count on being pretty good annually. I haven't played them in a few years. Chase Elliott's still on the racetrack, so is the 48 of Schneider. Lap 25. Schneider sends it on Joey Gayson in turn 1, and he's able to make the pass. Sorry, that was the other Rick Ware car. Gosh, I thought it was 53. It was 52. Schneider will pit this time by, though. He's not going to risk it any further on fuel. And he'll likely just be pitting every 25 laps today. Side by side into the bus stop. Quinn Half off the curbing. Gonna hang on to his race car. Into turn 5. Schneider in contact with Half. This lap time's really slow, being held up behind and now alongside Half for a little bit now, and the contact on top of it didn't help. Schneider will pit this time by. Actually, no, I'm going to pit next time. I didn't even take the damage off yet. It hasn't set at minimal at the start, and I forgot to change it, so. Schneider's still out on the racetrack, lap 26. The window is 26 to 27 laps. I made it 27 laps in the custom schedule season, so he should make it. Granted, at 3 other tracks over the winless streak so far, I ran out of fuel trying to stretch it as far as I did in the custom schedule season. I wasn't able to do it, so hopefully we can make it another half a lap here at Watkins Glen, as Chase Elliott was the first into the pits between the 48 and the 9. So that might actually be problematic for Schneider, considering Elliott will have 1 lap fresher tires. Or sorry, for 1 lap he will have about 26 lap fresher tires. Schneider will now pass the 53 of Joey Gase. So no adjustments coming up. 4 tires and fuel for the 48. Get it down to pit road speed. Pretty easily done. 40 miles per hour is the speed limit tonight. And a little backward style pit stop. Indeed, I do see you guys talking about it down in the chat below, but indeed, rest in peace to the late, great John Madden. Of course, Madden franchise named after John Madden, so I'm sure a lot of people who maybe aren't too familiar with football at least know the name John Madden, and it was a very significant one. I can remember him calling Monday Night Football with Al Michaels was my earliest memories of John Madden, of course, on top of playing the game and those two being in the game as a kid. So definitely a part of my childhood. Of course, being a Packers fan, he always loved Brett Favre. He liked to talk about Brett Favre a lot. So I guess we had one thing in common. We were both big Brett Favre fans. and he will definitely forever be missed. He was a legend both on the field with his coaching and off the field, again in the announce booth, and just from documentaries I've seen. I haven't seen the new one that Fox put out yet, but it's definitely one I'd probably want to look out. I've seen a Football Life about him, usually NFL Network, and the NFL films usually do a great job with documentary series like that. And they usually have one for a lot of the Hall of Famers, John Madden being one of which, and he will surely be missed. It's crazy the timing of that happening too, considering that they just have that documentary series on Fox. They've been advertising it for the last couple weeks, and then this happens. It's crazy. So I'm assuming Chase Elliott is the race leader. I would be shocked if he isn't, considering the fact that he was in the lead by quite a big margin when he came into the pits. I don't know if Schneider's got anything for him. I don't know who's faster between the 48 or the 9, because it did take 12 laps for Schneider to get to second, but we have not even seen Elliott yet. And he probably gained a little more time with the pit stop, considering he pit 1 lap before the 48. Schneider's just going to keep charging. Could be a fun battle to watch between the Hendrick Motorsports teammates as this race wears on. Contact potentially there with Corey and Joy. Be able to stay in front of him though. Mr. 53 and Joey Gase. So Schneider passed Joey Gase right before he pitted, so you can definitely tell it was not a fast pit stop for the 48, on top of the fact that Elliott pitted 1 lap before him. So the combination of the two there is not a healthy one for Schneider's sake of trying to catch the 9 car. When I get out of the S's, I need to pause it for a second. The way I'm sitting on my bed, my legs are starting to fall asleep, so I need to get up and move. Try to figure this out as far as how I'm gonna finish the rest of the stream out. You guys wouldn't understand exactly where I'm filming from or how I'm filming, but again, that's the reason why, the main reason why the camera's not on tonight. Oh my goodness. Probably hear the creaking of the mattress while now I go from like 5 feet away from the TV to like 2 feet away from the TV. Burning out my retinas. You're just tuning in though, we are still caution free. Just cycled through the first set of green flag pit stops at lap 29. First of 3 scheduled stops for the field in today's race. Chase Elliott has led every lap from the pole so far. Schneider qualified 7th. We saw Denny Hamlin flip earlier when he was battling for 4th with Schneider. Drove it in deep to try and get around the 48 in turn 6 after Schneider had passed him cleanly in the bus stop that same lap. And Hamlin ended up on the right side of his race car. Probably slid off into the sand and potentially barreled after that. So it was just a crazy set of circumstances that we have not seen before. We did see a flip in lap traffic towards the end of the race with Matt DiBenedetto in the bus stop here, but that was in turn 6. So that is new to me. I didn't know. I knew it happened in the bus stop from time to time, but it happened in turn 6. No caution came out for it. The reason why is probably just because he was off the actual racing surface, considering how far wide he was going when Schneider had gotten back around him. That was the only incident so far today. It's been a pretty tame, pretty clean race so far. And we'll have to see how business will pick up as this one continues on. So I want to see you guys down in the comments section, or in the chat I should say, down below. Vote for what time you want me to live stream on New Year's Eve. So my Michigan Wolverines play at 7:30. We can either live stream after the game, and we live stream into the new year, which I think would be pretty cool. Or if most of you guys probably aren't going to stay up that night, then I can do it when I get off of work. I get off early at 2:30. I just found out today, so I think right now I have it scheduled for a premiere, but because we weren't able to stream last night, I kind of don't want to do another premiere the rest of the week, just because of the lack of live streams we've had, really, between me being sick yesterday and then last week with it being Christmas. And like I said, I've only streamed 3 times in probably the last week and a half because we've had a ton of premieres. We've still been having daily uploads, but I'd like to see you guys down in the chat. But let me know down below in the chat what works better for you guys for New Year's Eve on Friday night. It will be NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. It'll be the second race of the year. I believe it's at Watkins, Glen, if I'm not mistaken, for the custom schedule season. It'll be the second Watkins Glen stream in the week. One on a good game and one on a crappy game. I will say, although this game is not the greatest, at least for our benefit, we are still in second place, and it's been tamed so far for ourselves. Obviously, we saw Denny Hamlin flip already. Center was able to get through cleanly, no contact. Luckily, he was able to miss him. Yeah, I say before. Yeah, I'll have plenty of time to stream before with getting off early. Yeah, I figured most of you guys were probably going to be busy too. Alright, well, it looks like we are doing it beforehand. That is cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you guys down in the chat. We can definitely do that. We've not alternated through the different camera angles yet today, so we'll all make sure to do that for the first of 2 times when we get back to the start-finish line. Still no sight of race leader Chase Elliott thus far. Crazy. We're going to be halfway through this race in about 12 more laps. Shiders ran some really good, clean laps. The last lap was a 110.208. Not sure what that last time was. It, for whatever reason, isn't showing up. I wonder if it might have been the same lap time. Yeah, I drove it in there pretty deep on James Davison. But he also did crowd us in the center of the corner because we were underneath him when he moved down. The spotter might not have warned that the 48 was coming in hot. I didn't alternate through the cameras yet. I'll make sure I do that this time, bye. Looks like William Byron's back to the 12th position after starting second. Of course, that's who Schneider had passed for second place, so he must have had a pretty bad pit stop or something. Maybe he had a spin out somewhere on the racetrack as well, or could potentially be the case. I just kind of noticed the last like 3 lap times every time we cross the start finish line, it's not actually showing my last lap speed. Is that a new glitch I just found out about? I'd like to know what my lap times are. Hope how much pace I'm losing over the course of the run, because right now, not aware. And you can't go off of intervals, because we don't know where the leader's at, because the interval's messed up on this game. Good pick Georgia to beat Michigan, but we're surprised that the Wolverines win. Yeah, that should be a really good, close game. I'd probably lean on it being low scoring. I doubt... I should say I would not be surprised if neither team hits 30 points. I could see it being like a 27-24, 27-23 kind of game. That's what I'd probably look at it. Blows around Anthony Alfredo in the 38. Oh, and he misses the bus stop pretty far wide. Out into the grass. I think we're going to have to come to a stop and go penalty for that. We blew that pretty badly. Trying to figure out where I want to stop. What do they give you? 3 laps to serve it before they black flag you? Got a few laps to think about it. Try to get back around Anthony Alfredo here in this long straightaway. Alfredo just keeps crisscrossing back and forth with the 48.
Got one right. All right, hold your line. Still there.
Fredo's racing this second place car, Schneider, really hard. Cutting the chicane, Schneider's going to have to serve his first penalty of the game. Of the race of the game. That is a video game. Start Crypto, welcome to the stream. Yeah.
Alright, hold your line.
So we were clear like 2 or 3 times.
Alright, hold your line.
Schneider had Cody where it clear. Cody drives it in deep into the S's, and he's going to run side by side with Schneider. Now he's going to have to drop in line behind him. Schneider will pull away. So Schneider's going to have to serve his penalty next lap. Stop and go. this is not going to end up well. Into the tire barrier goes the 48. Well, so much for serving the penalty. I guess that was our stop and go. Oh my goodness, this is a terrible situation right now for Schneider. Trying to get back going in the right direction, hoping that he just doesn't get clobbered by oncoming traffic. Blown left front tire on the 48 of Schneider. He smokes the tire barrier off the exit of turn 5. And he's going to have to bring it into the pits. You kind of tell midway through the corner that he was not going to make it as he got back into the gas way too soon. And he is trying to limp this damaged race car back to pit road. Trying desperately not to spin the car back out again. 4 tires and fuel for the 48 of Schneider. NASCAR LOL / Noobster, welcome to the stream. For Express, welcome as well. Where's the face cam? I have it off tonight. Ethan, welcome to the stream. That is going to hurt the 48. Running second basically all night, trying to catch the 9 of Elliott. And this is going to put him in a bit of a hole. Yeah, I don't have a setup currently to put the face cam on for tonight. And I may not tomorrow either. Just for a heads up. Well, all the damage was pretty much taken to the left side of the race car. Because as you can see, there's really no damage on the hood or the left front. I'm almost wondering if it was the left rear tire that was down. Oh, some cars up and over. Kurt Busch in the 1 into the guardrail after he flips, likely off the curbing in the bus stop. And again, we stay green. They have not been throwing the caution tonight. That is 3 accidents we have seen now, no yellow. And by the way, Schneider's back to 25th. I probably think that he's a lap down, if I had to imagine. Which is a bummer. He's going to try to come back from it. He's got fresh tires as we speak. The second set of pit stops will be coming in about another 10 to 12 laps. Just trying to get back in a rhythm. The only mistake he made all day long. And it was a costly one in turn 5. I wonder if he may be able to make it on just one more stop still. Obviously that costed him time to get into the pits from after he spun for obvious reasons and having to limp it, but he only had to limp it through about 2 corners before getting back into the pit lane. All he has to do is make it to lap 65, and the window is going to be open to be able to make it to the end of the race on fuel. Really, he went 26 laps to start the race, so lap 64 and on, he can make it. So now he's on fresher tires as we speak, trying to make up as much time as he can. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage that is going to slow him down. Hopefully it was only the tire puncture. Which he might get lucky if he just basically hit the wheel head on, rather than taking a pretty big blow to the impact of the body around the car, which could affect the aerodynamics a little bit more. So he might have gotten lucky. He only caught the tire into the wall. That's why he spun in a ricocheting fashion off of it like he did. Luckily, he didn't get hit by oncoming traffic. He's very, very fortunate for that. Because that ricocheted right back out into traffic. Speaking of traffic, there is a lot of cars right in front of the 48. Passes a couple of them into turn 7. Hops to the outside of the 42 at Chastain, a bit of contact. 3 wide. Shoots the gap on the fresh tires into turn 1.
Clear all around.
That was a gutsy move.
Car right.
All for naught, because he just kind of merges his way back into the line right where he was before he went into the corner. Try to blow past Chastain.
Stay right.
Into the bus stop, he does. He gets into the back bumper of the 14. Chase Briscoe.
Stay right.
Making passes for position.
All right, hold your line.
Full contact with Briscoe in turn 5.
Still there. All clear. Got one left. Got one left. Got one left. Clear, clear. One left.
Not able to clear that 14 car yet. Trying to use all that excess pavement necessary. Drives it deep into turn 7. Still not able to keep up with him. Struggling to pass cars right now, even though he's on pressured tires. And here comes Chastain, who got a really, really good exit to turn 7.
All right, hold your line.
3 wide into turn 1 with the lap cars just up ahead. It looked like Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace splitting around the slower lap car of Austin Cindric. I guess these are lead lap cars, considering Schneider had to make that unscheduled pit stop. Ooh, into the back of the 14. Checked up for some reason.
One left.
Going to use Austin Cindric as a pick into the bus stop. Pass is made. Schneider finally gets around Briscoe for that spot. Closes on the 20 of Christopher Bell. Oh, Bell slipped.
Clear, clear.
Saw the rear of the car wiggle and he got loose as he tried to pick the throttle back up off the exit of turn 5.
Clear, clear.
Bell drives it in really deep into turn 6, though. Schneider hugging the
Clear,
outside.
clear, clear. Stay right. Stay right. All right, hold your line.
Schneider's got the advantage in turn 7.
Clear, clear.
And he's easily going to clear the 20. So back inside the top 20 now, as we're halfway home at Watkins Glen.
Got one left.
Schneider's going to blow around Eric Jones and the S's.
Still there.
All clear.
Clear, clear.
Kyle Larson back at 17. This could be 3 straight finishes outside the top 10 for Larson. Still got a pretty big regular season points lead with just 3 more races to go after this one to getting that regular season championship. Larson stuck behind the 62. Schneider just squeezes between the 2 cars.
Stay right. Stay right.
Excuse me.
Clear, clear, clear.
Denny Hamlin coming out of the pit lane.
Clear, clear, clear.
Short pitted at about the halfway mark. That was another pass for position for Schneider. McDowell, Matt DiBenedetto, next 2 drivers for position. Daniel Suarez only a couple seconds ahead of them. Schneider makes a clean pass in turn 7 on McDowell. Dell's got a bit of a run. He's not going to pull out a line and try to make the pass, though, into turn 1 on Schneider. Schneider sends it into the corner himself as he's still trying to run down Matty D in the 21. Pass made there for Schneider. Sends it on Daniel Suarez as well, off the curb into the side of the 99.
Stay left, stay left. Clear all around.
With contact in turn 5 as well. Now he's trying to draft off the 99er Suarez. Suarez drives it in deep on BJ McLeod. Schneider's just going to have to follow the 99. He almost gets turned off the front bumper of the 78. Merges his way back up into turn 7 on the inside line. Oh, and a big block on DiBenedetto. He's going to go wide in turn 1. Locked up the front tires and had a bit of a wheel hop. Great run in the SSO as he drives back to the inside of the 21 car and drives right back around it. Jimmy Johnson gonna race IMSA? What, full time? No, he wouldn't be racing full time. He's running full time IndyCar. He ran part time IMSA this year. Didn't he run Road Atlanta a couple weeks ago? Or a couple weeks ago? About a month ago? Month and a half ago? Whenever it was. Petit Le Mans. Then, excuse me, I know he ran the Rolex 24. He might have ran another race too. But he usually runs the Rolex 24. Not every year, but
One left, one left, one left.
every now and then he would run it, even during his NASCAR tenure. Voice of the Green Bay Packers. It does have a nice ring to it, though. Voice of NASCAR sounds a little bit different.
Got one right. Clear all around.
Wow, that was some tight racing with Daniel Suarez and the S's. Both cars trying to side draft each other as much as they possibly could. Schneider was trying to make sure he pulled clear before moving down in front of the 99 in the middle of the S's. But he did have him cleared. He runs down the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He's up to 12th place, and a lot of the leaders have not pit yet for their second stop. Schneider's going to be right on the border of being able to make it on fuel on just one more stop in this race today. Looks like Kevin Harvick's coming into the pit lane this time. So he'll slow up into the pit road. Looks like Harvick was one of the first drivers to make his green flag pit stop. Scheduled, of course. Ryan Blaney in the 12. Cycles out ahead of the 48. I'm surprised with that flat tire. Schneider doesn't really have any damage at all. Got very lucky. He must have hit the left rear perfectly. Right on the wheel to blow the tire. But no significant damage around the actual race car itself. Pretty big run in the bus stop that time, and he dives underneath the 12 of Blaney into turn 5. Gonna try to use the lap car of Quinn Houff as a pick, and he gets into the right rear of Houff. Trying to move Houff into the way of the 12. Schneider makes a pass now for 10th place on the racetrack. And again, a lot of the top 10 still has to pit. So he's made up a little bit of ground, it looks like, on these fresher tires. Of course, he obviously lost some time because he had to sit there in the middle of the track and wait for some of the traffic to go by before he spun the car back around and lifted into the pits after that. Probably a lengthy stop as well, trying to repair some damage. But he's trying to make the most of it. got a first spot in the chat. Coming in hot into the bus stop. Check up to keep the running into the back of Galicki. 52 Galicki giving plenty of room for Schneider to pass him in turn 5. Schneider's got an extremely fast car. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the top 10 right now?
Clear, clear.
Running in that 7th place position. Stenhouse going to pull out of line into the pits this time, so that'll be another spot for Schneider to gain. Schneider in the wall off the exit of turn 7. Gotta be careful. It's the first time he's hit the wall outside of that one time he blew the tire in turn 5. No flat tire that time, he didn't hit it hard enough. But sometimes you can't hit it that hard and blow a tire, so still very fortunate at the same time. Yeah, thanks for handling that thought. Race is clicking by, only 38 laps to go this time. So Schneider's gonna pit with 27 laps to go in this race, so he doesn't run out of fuel during this run. And just hope that he can make it on that final run to the end. Schneider's still shown in 7th. I think he might have actually lost that much time. I didn't think he did. He just able to get ahead of James Davison as Davison was getting his way up to speed coming out of the pits. I'm surprised that Schneider dropped back 5 positions in the running order to 7th. Good news is Austin Dillon and Joey Logano were battling for position not that far in front of him for 5th. Oh, and up and over goes the 38 now! Of Anthony Alfredo off the curb in the bus stop, same spot where we saw Kurt Busch flip earlier in the race, and that is now the 3rd car to get overturned today. It looked like he was going to hit hard, rook first into the guardrail the way he was sliding. Thanks for an easy pass for the 48. And again, we do stay caution free, no yellow so far. I almost think we're not going to get a caution at this point. Logano stuck behind his teammate Cindric. Schneider almost into the wall in turn 1. Old car coming up to speed. That's David Reagan, and Schneider just piled right into the left rear of Reagan, and Reagan was holding him up. There was a little bit of contact. Oh, Reagan just hit him back. What is David Reagan doing? Into the bus stop. Schneider trying to outbrake him on the outside. He's able to get around the 37th place car. Oh, that just killed all the momentum Schneider had. He was maybe only half a second behind Logano. Now he's about 4 seconds behind him. Cerebral Assassin, welcome into the stream. try to get around Cindric as quickly as he can.
All right, hold your line.
A little bit of contact.
One left. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Not the first car he's made contact with today. Or even in the last couple laps for that matter, especially when it comes to lap traffic. Reddick's only about a second or two ahead of Austin Dillon as well, so 4th, 5th, and 6th. At least within a few seconds for Schneider to try and catch them. Problem is Schneider's got a little bit older tires from when he pitted compared to when those guys pitted. Though I will say he is pulling away from Blaney, who's also on fresh tires behind him. Right corner of turn 5 for the 48. Sure, lap cars will probably slow up those drivers per position Schneider can catch here. Maybe we'll get lucky and Chase Elliott will be another car to topple over in this race today. We've seen 3 drivers flip already. Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, and then Anthony Alfredo a few laps ago. Hamlin flipped in turn 6. It was Kurt Busch and Alfredo who flipped in the bus stop. Oh, we got another car flipping in the bus stop. Oh, hard into the wall. Austin Dillon back across the track. And Schneider just missed him to the inside. Hard lick for Austin Dillon. Still no caution, and he even came back in traffic, and Schneider just missed him in the bus stop heading into turn 5. As he was up on 2 wheels, sparking.
Got one right.
They're heading nearly roof first into the guardrail.
Got one left. Clear all around.
No rearview mirror to tell him. Got piled into from behind. That was a position for both Logano and Schneider to make the pass. And a near miss for the 48. Which would have been a huge collision. On top of what already was a big collision. And they're trying to get around Quinn Half in the 0-0.
Clear, clear.
Gets around him cleanly. DVC 1103, welcome to the stream. Schneider is closing on Joey Logano. Not close enough to be able to climb into the draft yet, but he is getting there. We have just hit lap 60, 30 laps to go this time by at Watkins Glen. Chase Elliott has dominated. He's led all but one lap. The only lap Schneider led was in the middle of green flag pit stops. That's the only lap Elliott did not lead. Huge line of lap traffic and lead lap cars coming up. Logano has ran down Tyler Reddick. Schneider has ran down both Logano and Reddick into the bus stop of the gigantic run. Taking it pretty hot into turn 5. Logano pushes a little bit tight. Reddick pulling out of line, looking to make a pass on the lap car of Cole Custer. Logano's going to get stuck behind Custer, it looks like, into turn 6. Schneider sends the gap underneath Logano. Oh, Reddick gets tight in the dirty air. 41 car. Cole Custer gets loose. That's going to stack Logano up. Schneider's back inside the top 5. Can drive it deep into turn 1. Oh, he's going to nearly clean. Oh, he does. He cleans out the 52 car of Josh Bilicki, who made an incredible save. Logano's going to try to get back around the 48, but it's not going to happen. And Schneider's going to have to run Reddick back down again. A little bit tight himself, didn't downshift soon enough on entry into turn 5. Schneider's just sliding into turn 6. Only got a few more laps that he could go on fuel before he has to pit. Oh, that was not a good exit to turn 7. And he is pushing extremely hard. His tires are absolutely shot at this point in the run. We get a little bit of a draft off Tyler Reddick, it looks like. Into the bus stop. He's going to try to send it. And he'll make the pass. One car gets a little slippery. Both cars in front of Schneider get a little slippery. Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola. We saw Busch flip earlier. Pushed him back to 23rd. Daniel Suarez, who was just outside the top 10 right before pit stops, is now back to 22nd. Schneider has rallied to 4th. He's still going to short pit one more time here. And it's going to be in the next couple of laps. Gonna stay out this time by. Gotta go one more lap on fuel.
Got one left. Clear all around.
He's gonna try to go one more after this. Kyle Busch is scored in 3rd, and he's quite a ways, seems quite a ways ahead of the 48 of Schneider. Man, Schneider is at risk of blowing a tire here pretty soon. All the contact he's making with the race car.
Stay right, clear, clear.
Just pushing extremely hard. Can't blame him though, he put himself in that hole blowing that left front tire earlier. The left side tire, whether it was the front or the rear, we don't know. Schneider will pit this time by. It'll be his third and final stop of the day. So at least he never had to make any extra pit stops. The problem is he lost a lot of time, though, in the process of making that stop between turns 5 and 7, and obviously in the pit road entry. And he was stuck backwards, sitting, waiting out the traffic for a good 5 to 10 seconds, or even bringing it into the pits, trying to attempt to bring it into the pits as well. Trying to rally. He was back in 25th. He is up to 4th. Where did we get the damage on the front bumper? Trying to figure out where the damage came from. Schneider in the pit lane. 40 miles an hour is the speed limit. 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments coming. Final stop of the day. It'll be a 26-lap fuel run to the end for the 48. $14 people watch right now. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Sorry for no face cam tonight if you are a regular viewer of the channel. And if you are new, we usually have face cam in the middle of a little bit of remodeling, plus a little under the weather right now. So maybe I don't know. That really has nothing to do with the face cam being turned off at this point. Maybe I'm looking a little bit more pale compared to usual. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, we are still live. Still got the realistic commentary as always. I'm so glad we didn't blow a tire doing it. Schneider's going to try to make up as much time as he can on these fresh tires. He's going to have to make some quick passes. He gets up to speed. He's going to outbreak the 42 of Ross Chastain. Trying to drive around his teammate Kyle Larson now. Middle of turn 5. Get a dive underneath him. A bit of contact. And I smashed into the 51. I didn't think there was... I went into the look back cam when I made contact with them. I don't remember there being damage. At least I didn't think there was damage at the time. Whatever the case, it is hurting the straightaway speed in this 48. There are 3 long straightaways around this racetrack, so that is definitely not going to help him at all. Definitely going to tighten this car up more and more as well. Oh, gee. That sounded a lot more violent than what it actually probably should have been. Hit with the outside wall. Cody Roll, Ricky Stenhouse pretty easily. William Byron will be another spot. 11th place. Guessing that Huberto guy is was a bot. Oh wow! Schneider was coming in pretty hot, but the 62 again pinches him off.
Clear.
Didn't help matters. Schneider sends it into turn 1. Trying to make a pass on William Byron, side by side in the S's, one of the most dangerous parts of the racetrack to run side by side, but Schneider will make the pass on the fresh tires. Up to 11, with 24 laps still to go. Okay, we are not sure where Chase Elliott is at on the racetrack. Schneider's just hoping with the short pitting that this is his only best shot of really being able to compete and give himself a chance to win this race. So Martin Truex Jr. is in second place as he's trying to go for back-to-back wins towards the end of the regular season. Of course, every win is worth 5 playoff points, and with no stages on the line, those are the only way to get playoff points, except for your regular season points finish as well. In this area of the track, you get side by side with David Reagan, but he gets through there cleanly. Denny Hamlin into the pit lane. Oh, Schneider just blew turn 1. Yep, into the wall again. Wow. That was a very long slide. It was like the car was turning when it was locked up, but it wasn't turning at the same time.
Clear, clear, clear. Got one right.
What a tough break.
Clear all around.
As if it couldn't get any worse for the 48. Whatever shot he had of trying to catch up and win is now out the window. Barring a late caution. We've seen, what, 3 or 4 flips today, and we have not seen a caution. I don't think we're getting a caution in this one at this point. Unbelievable. And the winless streak will continue for the 48 at Stenhouse. Is leaning on the 48 car.
All clear, all clear.
And they're trying to bring it back into the pit lane. I purposely did that. Running back into Ricky Stenhouse.
Clear all around.
Oh, this car's not turning still. My goodness. Well, we'll just pit with everybody else, I guess.
Clear, clear, clear.
He's damaging the car even more. Well, that did not go according to plan. Schneider's pitting right back here on schedule with the rest of the field. So now he's having to make an extra pit stop in this race today, on top of the fact that he basically had to limp all the way around the racetrack that time on a blown left front tire. And that was a pretty good lick. Well, there and into turn 7, pretty hard licks. Licky cycling ahead of the 48 of Schneider. I think Schneider's going to be on equal tires to the end of the race with everybody else. Problem is he'll be taken out of a shot at a top 10 now.
All clear. Car right. All clear. Car right. All clear.
Schneider just able to make a pass on Balicki. Looking for Joey Gase.
Got one left. Clear, clear, clear.
It does not take much to make a mistake in this game. And we've seen tonight where on only 2 occasions Schneider has actually legitimately made a mistake, and both times he blew a left side tire as they return to his cause. It's just one thing you can't really do in this game is lock the tires up, because all the car does is slide, which is realistic in that sense. There's no way to get out of it. You can try to bleed the brakes by kind of getting out of the brakes and easing back into them again, and it's just too little too late at that point. So that was a very long slide with the front tires locking up from the time it took from him to slide to actually get the car sideways to hit it with the left side of the race car, and it was still at too fast of a speed, at too awkward of an angle that it blew the left front. I think Schneider might be a lap down right now. In the 23rd position. Not sure how he fell back this far. Larson was in 13th. 13th and 14th place cars were right in front of Schneider when Schneider hit the pits. He's back to 23rd. I have no clue where Kyle Larson's at, but I know he's not this far back. William Byron was in 11th, and he's scored in 10th right now. I wish there was an actual pit stop time in this game, so you know how fast your pit crew's going in comparison to the rest of the field. That's one thing I have noticed with this game, is there is no actual pit stop time. It does not time your stop. Excuse me. I'm trying to turn away from the mic now. Walsh is for position.
Got one left.
They're just going to outbrake him.
Clear all around.
There's a spot. Larson's back to 19th. I don't think everybody's pit yet. I still don't know how Larson was like 5 to 6 seconds ahead of us now. That doesn't make any sense at all, why we were that much slower in the pits. I didn't even repair damage. Pit stop should not have been that long. Especially considering their teammates, so you would think ideally that the same teams would have somewhat equal pit crews as far as speed. I mean, yeah, they'll differentiate from time to time, but not a consistent 5 to 6 seconds. That's just unfair. I wonder if that goes with the difficulty for some reason in this game. Not that it should, but I kind of wonder if on a harder difficulty, if your pit stops are going to be slower, making it even harder. Or maybe the AI's pit crews are just that much faster. A higher difficulty. Schneider pulls it in on the 41 at Custer.
One left.
Underneath him, looking to make a pass. A little bit of contact.
Still next to you.
They jump back into the gas.
All clear. Got one right.
Schneider will make the pass in turn 6.
Stay right.
Custer got back around him on the outside in turn 7, almost put himself in the wall. Now Schneider's going to get around Custer for good this time. Maybe clear. Chastain, Larson, Suarez, 14th, 15th, 16th, all in front of the 48. I think Custer might have wrecked behind us. We just passed him, and he is nowhere to be found. Truex is in front of him now. Larson and Suarez side by side for position into turn 6. Suarez coming out on top for right now. Mason Gutterman, welcome to the stream. At least the Hendrick car is going to win tonight. Barring a miraculous comeback by either of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas of Martin Truex Jr. or Kyle Busch. Considering their deficit interval-wise to race leader Chase Elliott. Elliott deserves this win, though. He was bad fast out of the gate. Just pulled away from everybody. Schneider got the second. He was nowhere in sight of Elliott. See Daniel Suarez pitting off the exit, turn 7. Our spot for the 48. As well for the 5 and the 42. Stenhouse trying to get up to speed. That was a pass for position. Stenhouse trying to get up to speed, so now Schneider's up to 14. He can come back for 2 flat tires, finish in the top 10. That'll be a good enough, I guess, of performance. It'll be back-to-back top 10s for the 48. He's got that to try and fight for. A good set of corners. On the back of the 42, you can see Chastain struggling. The tighter car in turn 5, but the door is shut on Schneider. Schneider sent it in turn 6. He'll send it back into 7. Oh, he's going to door the 42. Contact with Chastain, a little bump and run. Schneider to 13th. The way ideally he wanted to get around the 42. He got around him nonetheless. Malicki coming out of the pit lane. Schneider's gonna get in front of him. Chastain got held up behind him. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I was trying to use the look back cam and I just turned right. I shouldn't have to use that camera if I just had a rearview mirror in this game, and that would not have happened. I did that before at another track too, and I can't remember which one it was, but I know it was this season or career mode. It's ridiculous. And that one shouldn't have even been my fault. I'm trying to use the look back cam to see where Chastain was because I was thinking he got caught behind the lap car. Just wanted to make sure, so I had clearance. And into the wall I go. But if I had a rear view mirror, I wouldn't even have had to even do that to begin with. Stupid. So much for the top 10 at this point. 4 tires and fuel. We'll see how many spots Schneider can get back. He's back to 24th. Just ahead of Daniel Suarez. Oh, we got one car. Who was that? I don't even know who that was. That was another spot. Was it Benedetto? Somebody was sitting on the right side of the race car. Off to the side. Yeah, it was another position gained for the 48, but I'm not sure who it was. It looked like it could have been Benedetto, but I'm not entirely sure. 10 laps to go, Watkins Glen, considering that the 48 is 1 lap down. Maybe 2 laps down. I would doubt we're 2 laps down. Although, nothing surprises me anymore with this game. Oops. Didn't mean to doubt you. We've had 5 cars flipping. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. We've had 5 cars flipping this race today. We haven't seen a single caution for it. Explain me that one. That if we didn't have these blown tires, or maybe we could have gotten bailed out with the first blown tire we had because we were still in the lead lap. Second blown tire, we were a lap down. The last blown tire wasn't my fault. This game would have had a rear view. I wouldn't have had to use the look back cam in the middle of the S's that I turned the wrong way into the wall. I wanted to make sure I was clear. Such a solid start to the night. Halfway home and we were in 2nd place. If you're just tuning in for the first time, you probably wouldn't have even thought anything of it. You probably would have thought it was another bad NASCAR 21 edition race where we were just running off the pace or we were behind early, and it just wasn't the case. Well, halfway into this race, we were 2nd place, ran 2nd really from lap 12 on, qualified 7th. Trying to run down Chase Elliott. Got through the first set of pit stops. We were close to the 2nd set of pit stops when we blew our first tire in the race. We were just within the window to be able to make it on 3 stops as scheduled. Even with that first blown tire, and we had actually rallied back up to 4th place. Made our final pit stop, scheduled to short pit with 26 laps to go. As soon as our window opened to the end, we made it 26 laps in the opening run of the race. Another flat tire just a couple laps after the fact put us 1 lap down. Again, not having a rearview mirror is the reason why I blew a tire in the middle of the S's a couple laps ago. Adding insult to injury when we were battling Larson for 12th place. Still spots to be gained up ahead. You're looking at a battle for the regular season point standing. Schneider, the only way, again, he could get playoff points, or anybody could get playoff points off their regular season points finishes if you're in the top 10 in the regular season standings. Right now, Schneider comes into this race 15th after his 3rd place finish at New Hampshire. But again, they just can't get momentum going for themselves, and they'll try it again in the next race in a couple nights at Indianapolis, and another road course there. But they are going to need a quick turn for the better, because if they run like this in the playoffs, they are just not going to be able to make it out alive. so to speak. Only 2 top 10s, and that would be a win at Coda, a third place finish at New Hampshire. In the last 11 races, it'll be 12 races once the Indianapolis road course begins. Oh, we got another car around. Austin Cindric creeping his way back up. Heavy damage to the front of the 48. He's creeping his way back up under the racetrack, and then he stopped with the 41 of Colton Custer had checked up. Heavy damage now to the front of the 48. Things are just getting even worse in the late going for Schneider. Really, he still had a chance to win this race about 10 laps ago, and now all of a sudden 2 flat tires in that stretch and heavy damage to the front of the race car in about a 10 to 12 lap stretch is just put him back to 23rd. It's tough because Cindric's in last place right now. And he was the one that was sitting there in the bus stop spun. I wouldn't be surprised if he had flipped in that area of the racetrack. No guarantees that that was the case, but considering we had seen that a few times already today, likely what happened. Bounce off the curb to the 48, a little bump to the 41 of Custer. He was not afraid to use the bump and run there. They're just going to try to pinch Custer behind Cody Ware. Make sure he's going to be able to take this position away from the 41. He's quite a ways behind Almirola in 21st for the next position. Well, we only got 5 laps to go, maybe even 4 for 2 laps down. There's no way of telling. At least 1 lap down from the 48. Only 1 Hendrick car is in the top 10, which would be race leader Chase Elliott. They're running 1, 2, 3 at the beginning of the race. First dozen laps in, roughly. Maybe just beyond that.
Got one right. Clear, clear. Stay left.
Contact in the back is 62. Will bump and run off the exit of turn 5. Schneider's going to be able to clear. Four to go. Five road course races this year. This would be the second worst finish for Schneider. If he finishes 22nd. I should say 21st or worse. Be the second worst finish on a road course this year. I got the confidence that we could run well on the road courses going further into this career mode in seasons to come. We obviously had a win at Coda. And just got to put clean races together here. I mean, Sonoma, we pretty much had that one won. Today we had at least the top 2 pretty much on lock. So hard to put a full clean race together in this game though when you have complex damage on it. Excuse me. Well, final lap. I guess that means Schneider is 2 laps down. Which means he's only going to have one more lap to run down the 10 of Almirola. Likely won't happen. A lot of lap traffic right around the 10. Just got around Ryan Newman, but I think he's far enough ahead of the 48. Probably has a decent amount more pace than him down these long straightaways as well. And it is checkered flag. Chase Elliott has won the Go Bowling at the Glen. At the Watkins Glen International. Leading all but one lap today from the pole. Our driver Keegan Schneider is going to bring it home 2 laps down in 22nd. After running in second place about halfway through the race. Heartbreaker, really. 2 mistakes, that's all it took him to take him out of the running for the win, and then one issue with the game, which only took us away from probably an 11th place finish, 1 lap down, probably where we should have finished even with my mistakes. It definitely took us out of the top 10 regardless. Only 2 drivers finished on the lead lap today. This one went caution free, even though... Okay, never mind. Jeez Louise. I'm trying not to cough in the mic. I am really sorry for that. I'm letting everything cycle out here. It looks like we had 5 drivers finish on the lead lap today. It mind boggles me that Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin flipped. And they still finished 6th and 8th. I don't think they had to pit an extra time, but no, I had 2 flat tires. I had to pit 2 extra times. And I didn't flip, I just hit the wall. And that relegated me to a 22nd place finish. Why doesn't the AI have damage? Does anybody else notice that? I don't think the AI actually gets damage. Like, you can hit them, and it might show damage, but then when you drive away from them, it looks like it disappears. Or sometimes it'll come up on them when you know they don't have damage, and it'll show damage. And then you drive away a couple car lengths ahead of them, and you go in the look back, and it disappears. It's almost like the AI just doesn't get registered damage. They can flip like that, just keep on going. Let's say DNF completely, which could happen. They could DNF. They either DNF completely or they don't have any damage at all. It's really weird. There's nobody DNF today. We saw 5 drivers flip. 2 of which finished ahead of us. Oh well. There's a look at your top 10. Again, only 5 drivers finished on the lead lap. Chase Elliott dominated fashion. He won the race. He deserved it. Mark Truex Jr. goes on to finish 2nd. Kyle Busch 3rd. Tyler Reddick 4th. Joey Logano rounds out the top 5. Austin Dillon in 6th. Chris Buescher 7th. Denny Hamlin 8th. Ryan Blaney 9th. And Brad Keselowski rounds out the top 10. Kyle the King fan, welcome to the stream. Bow Wow coming right now. Well, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard will be the next race on the season. It will be premiered. I'm not sure what night it will be. It was originally scheduled for, I believe, Friday, but because of no live stream last night due to me being under the weather, still trying to fight it, but we were able to get it in here tonight, so apologize for coughing in the mic. I only did it a couple times, but it was at the end of the race. I think it was just because my mouth was getting dry, and was out of water next to me, but I was only like 10 laps away from the finish, and the race was pretty much over from our standpoint, at least. At that point, I just wanted to get it done and over with. Chase Elliott does get his first win of the year with this win at Watkins Glen, so we'll lock him into the playoffs. He was sitting about 13th in the point standings, but he has been in the top 5 in the regular season standings all year. There you see him 5th. So it's not like he has had a bad season by any means. He was probably going to get some playoff points there and still be in the playoffs. So now he's got 5 more playoff points under his name as well. Third straight race, Kyle Larson's finished outside the top 10, but he still has a pretty comfortable lead in the regular season point standings. He leads Joey Logano by 92 points right now, so still over a 2-race lead. And Larson has a chance to clinch the regular season championship in the next race at the Indianapolis Road Course. Our driver Keegan Schneider came into the night 15th in points. He will drop back 2 spots to 16th in the point standings. So we moved up 2 and down 2, and then up 2 and then back down 2 in the last 4 races. Keep fluctuating. We're only 1 point behind both Chastain and DiBenedetto, but again, we have to get inside the top 10 to get playoff points for the regular season point standings finish. Austin Dillon getting a top 10 6th place finish, even though he flipped, definitely hurt us, because outside of that, I mean, I think everybody else 11 through, where we're at 16th in points all finished outside the top 10. Even Cole Custer 17th also finished outside the top 10 today. I saw Bell finish 20th. Harvick finished, I think, 13th or 14th. Keselowski finished 10th, I believe. So I guess he did get a top 10. Passed Chastain late. I think DiBenedetto was one of the cars that flipped, and he finished 25th. Yeah, so that's the regular season point standings. Corey LaJoie is 24th, so he's still in the top 30 points. Remember, he got an upset win at Pocono. And he's actually not as comfortably ahead as he was earlier in the year. He was like 80 points above the 30th spot in the point standings earlier this season. And now it's only down to, it looks like 27 points ahead of BJ McLeod. So LaJoie better be careful these final 3 races so he doesn't fall outside the top 30 for him to be able to make the playoffs. Because right now it's a tie between Ross Chastain and Matt DiBenedetto for that final spot. But if LaJoie falls outside of the top 30 at all, then DiBenedetto would be the last spot in by 11 over Cole Custer. Custer below the cutoff line by 11 points currently. So that is going to wrap that up. I don't think we've moved anywhere in the Legacy leaderboard. We haven't won in a while. And how many races has it been since we've won? Let me check real quick. I think it's 11 now, but Alright, let's see here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 races. 1 top 10 in the last 11 races, no wins to show for, obviously, in that stretch. It's rough. It is rough right now. Hopefully we can get it going in the right direction very quickly. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's live stream. And as always, I will see you guys next time. We'll be live streaming again. We'll have a live stream again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Daytona, NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. Custom schedule season for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Hope to see you guys then.